Today I'm at a Tuscan wine estate at Sassicaia, and it's been my privilege to taste through a number of vintages here. And I'm just finishing up with a fantastic example of Sassicaia. This is the 1998 vintage. So as you can imagine, I've been very lucky today. So here we are finishing up with what I hope will be a beautiful, mature example of Sassicaia, this legendary Tuscan estate. And bear in mind, it's an estate that really produced its first wine in 1945, didn't commercialise its wine until 1968, but so made its name, even when it was labelled as simply as a vino de Tovola, that it soon acquired its own DOC, simply for Bolgheri Sassicaia, and today is rated at probably as Italy's leading wine estate. And this was all down to the vision, really, of the Marchese Incisa della Rocchetta, who, through his wife's family, inherited the estate here. And the estate was largely geared to agriculture and horse breeding. But back in the early 40s, the Marchese decided, almost as a sort of a hobby, to try and grow Cabernet Sauvignon here. He had originated in Piedmont, where the wines, the Nebbiolos, tend to have long aging potential, and he'd grown up drinking the wines of Bordeaux, so he loved Cabernet Sauvignon. So he felt that he'd found some soil types and some climatic areas on this estate that suited the growing of Cabernet Sauvignon, and he pursued that idea, despite the fact that many people tried to dissuade him and suggest that the wines he was making would never be successful. So he really rather managed to prove them wrong there. So the wines that are made here they have to be, according to the DOC regulations, they have to be at least 80% Cabernet Sauvignon. And this, I believe, in 1998 was somewhere in the region of 85% Cabernet Sauvignon, with the balance being Cabernet Franc. And then the idea is that the Cabernet Sauvignon provides the finesse and the structure, and Cabernet Franc is just there to give an extra dimension, to give a slightly wild element, and to give a little life to the whole blend. The wine's traditionally aged for about 2 years in oak. About a third of that oak will be new, another third second fill, another third fill oak. And the wines here, I have to say, are made absolutely meticulously. They select out anything that's not good enough. They make the wines entirely plot by plot, so it's harvested, it's fermented, it ages in barrels, and it's kept separate until such a time as the final blend, a few months before bottling. And it really is a fabulous estate here. Large estate with mixed agriculture. I've been here, I've tried their olive oil, I've tried their honey. They have an area of biodiversity wetland as well, and I think that's a sign of a sort of a complete ecosystem in terms of wine production. Anyway, let's have a look at the wine, shall we? So as you'd expect from a wine that's nearly 26 years old, the colour is starting to fade. There's a medium intensity of a sort of a ruby core here with a slightly sort of brick red rim. I mean, the wine still has some good depth of colour there, swelling out. It is forming legs on the glass there, but I'm having to look for them a little. Let's see what we make of the aroma, shall we? Okay, there's something special about these aromas. There's almost a note of sort of soy sauce at first. It's a very meaty note. As I've said, sometimes I think the aromas of Sassicaia sometimes just are on the verge of seeming a little volatile. Instead, this has almost gone past that, because what's coming out now are aromas of truffle and actually really vivid aromas of oyster mushroom. Meaty, savoury, absolutely fabulous. Now, under that, there's a sort of a delicate hint of red fruit, probably slightly spicy raspberry. But yes, deliciously developed aromas there. So let's see what it's like on the palate. that's something exceptional. You have an underlying freshness, which is just absolutely beautiful. And from that, you've got lovely perfumes leaping. There is a sort of a really delicate rose petal note. Below that, there's this beautiful, fresh, slightly spicy raspberry note, perhaps a little tiny dusting of cinnamon over the top of that. There are touches of truffle. There are slightly chocolatey notes. All that sort of savoury mushroom flavour is there on the mid palate. The wine is silky smooth. I mean, there is a dusty, drying cocoa powder note of the tannins. You know they're there. And clearly there is a cedary note runs through, but it's beautifully integrated with the fruit. It doesn't stand out at all. The freshness is allowing those red fruit and those delicate rose petal notes to come through again on the finish. At the core, I'm looking back and there's some sort of licoricey notes still coming out, so touches of fennel, touches of aniseed. There are those sort of slightly wild notes, but this, looking back, I tasted the 2016. This seems to be where the 2016 might be in 5 or 10 years' time, and where the 2015 might be in 10 years or longer. It's a wine that's going to be fantastic for pairing with complex foods. There is just so much flavour bursting out from it, and yet it's not a big wine. This is a mid-weight, it's elegant, it's so persistent. This is something really special, and it's been a privilege to be here today at Sassicaia, such a wonderful estate, and taste these superb wines. Let's face it, these are not wines that are cheap, these are not everyday wines, but they actually show themselves to be exceptional wines, and they show themselves to have their own individualistic character. These wines are so Sassicaia as a group. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the tasting. If you have, do please press the like button. It would be fantastic if you could sign up and follow us on YouTube. We would love your subscription. That would really help us. If you have friends who you think might like to see the video, please share it with them. That would be fantastic. If you have any comments, please leave those in the comments box below. I'll leave a link in the notes so that you can follow that to the 1998 Sassicaia on the Wine Searcher website. You can see if and where it's available and at what price. And you can find out more about the background of the wine, and you can see critics' notes there and historic pricing and things like that. So thank you so much for joining us, and do please, I hope you'll take some time and come and join us for another tasting in the near future at some stage. Thanks again. Bye for now.